Hi there, good day. In this video presentation, we will be talking about community as an Augustinian value, inspired by the teachings of Saint Augustine in his vision of a united, loving, and God-centered life. So what is indeed community? In the teachings of Saint Augustine, community takes on a deeper dimension. It becomes a space where people journey together towards God. It is a setting for mutual care, shared responsibility, and living out the gospel in daily life. Community is both a human need and a divine calling. And as one of the Church's greatest thinkers, St. Augustine's reflections have shaped religious life, especially within the order of St. Augustine, and continue to influence educational and faith communities until today. This presentation explores how his concept of community remains deeply meaningful and applicable in modern Christian life. For St. Augustine, community is not accidental or optional. It is the heart of human nature and the Christian vocation. His theological and philosophical insight emphasize that the true community reflects the image of God. The ideal Christian community is one that cultivates not just social ties, but spiritual companionship rooted in the shared love and purpose. Augustine envisioned a community where individuals help each other grow in holiness and truth while remaining united in heart and mind, reflecting the divine life. In fact, St. Augustine opposes selfish individualism. Quoting from his City of God, he asserts that no one is sufficient unto himself. St. Augustine strongly believed that human beings are not meant to live in isolation. This reinforced the belief that our growth, identity, and salvation are tied to others. Therefore, community becomes the context in which we live out our calling as relational beings made in God's image. And at the center of St. Augustine's idea of community is caritas, or self-giving love. This is not a superficial affection, but a deep, Christ-like love that seeks the good of the other. In a community rooted in caritas, members do not act out of selfish desire, but out of compassion, generosity, and a desire to build one another up. St. Augustine believed that where true love exists, God is present, and thus, caritas is what transforms community into a holy communion. St. Augustine also celebrated diversity within unity, understanding that people have different talents, roles, and perspective, but can still form one unified body. He often used the Trinity as a model, three distinct persons yet perfectly united. Similarly, a community doesn't require uniformity. Instead, it flourishes when each other members contributes uniquely while pursuing a common purpose. St. Augustine also described life as a pilgrimage towards God and community as a shared journey. His famous quote, "Our hearts are restless until it rests in you," captures the longing that unites all people in the search for truth and divine peace. In community, individuals encourage each other on this journey, lifting one another through prayer, corrections, and shared insights. St. Augustine's rules also emphasizes common life, or vita communis, where members share not just physical resources, but their hearts, prayers, and spiritual struggles. This lifestyle is modeled after the early Christian community in Jerusalem, where believers had one mind and one heart, and share their goods with those in need. For as St. Augustine, this material sharing symbolizes the deeper unity in faith and love, living in a common teachings, humility, detachment from selfishness, and the importance of working for the common good, not just personal interest. Lastly, in Augustinian communities, leadership is seen as a servant leadership, not rooted in domination, but in love and accountability. The leader or superior is considered as the first among equals, encouraging trust and shared responsibility. St. Augustine's vision of community is a call to live in unity, love, and purpose with others, anchored in God. His teachings remind us that true community is not accidental. It is a response to our created nature and preparation for eternal life with God. Augustinian communities are places where diversity is embraced, truth is pursued together, and love is lived in action. To live in such a community is to practice heaven on earth, where people become one heart and one mind intent upon God. Thank you so much for listening, and this has been Shamay Season, Community as an Augustinian Value.